Okay. Pardon me. If you can bear me a second, there's going to be some setting up here. I'm afraid that might take a while to do. Okay, so that's camera number 2 on. Bubble wrap all over the floor here, and I keep treading like. Okay, I'm going to go back into ancient history here. This is a song I haven't sung in, I don't know, maybe too long, really. Whoa. Oh, this is 1989. We're going through some of my old songs, my old catalogue lately. The last few days. This was one I used to do a lot. It was actually on my set list from 89 and 90. That's flat. It needs to be not in tune, but it needs to be a bit more tuned there. Stretch it out a bit. Okay, how's the vocal? And how's the... This is called She's Cried a Million Tears. Goodness me. Typing gets smaller as the decades pass, yeah. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do this the way I used to do it, but then again I don't want to. I want to try a new arrangement. 1, 2, 3, 4. Three, 4. She looks around the bedroom, sees the mess it's in. Broken pictures, torn up clothes. How did it begin? She sees her favorite ornament shattered on the floor. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry. She stumbles to the bathroom. The mirror tells a tale. A cut lip and a black eye. How did it all go stale? A refugee of marriage, a victim of a war. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. Used to be so different back when they first met. He was kind and gentle, the tide had not turned yet. She gave him all of her love. She wonders now what for. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. She knew he had a temper, knew it from the start. But sometimes you don't see too straight when love time would change him, she was oh so sure. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. He could get so angry, but then be full of charm. It never once occurred to her that he would do her harm. But each time it became worse than the time before. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. At first he'd be so sorry, he'd bring her gifts and flowers. He'd beg her for forgiveness and they'd make love for hours. He'd swear it was the last time, and she'd clutch at the straw. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. Whenever things would go wrong, he'd say the blame was hers. What started as a marriage soon became a curse. He'd tell her she was useless, say she was a whore. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. Sometimes for no reason, he would not speak for days. She never knew where he was to, she could not change his ways. One day she saw it in his eyes and she knew what lay in store. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. The first blow sent her reeling, the second made her cry. Violence rained down on her, she didn't even know why. Blood flowing from her nose, she crumpled to the floor. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. She claimed she'd fallen over, she lied to everyone. She even lied to herself about what he had done. Soon each day became the same as the day before. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. She lost all her self-confidence, he took her pride away. She lost contact with her friends, they wondered why she stayed. He hurt her in so many ways, she never knew what for. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. Became that all the good times were outweighed by the bad. It seemed the threats and violence were all she ever had. She tried to understand him, tried to learn the score. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. She used to wish for children, dream of a family, but knowing the life they lead, she knew it could never be. She wondered what became of the man that she adored. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. She asked the bathroom mirror, Is this really a life? She's tried everything she knows to be her husband's wife. She hides the bruises with makeup like all the times before. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. She goes back to the bedroom, packs up a few things. She's gonna make a fresh start, see what tomorrow brings. One last look for the memory takes a goodbye to the door. She's cried a million tears, but she won't cry anymore. She's cried a million tears, song I wrote back in 1989. It is, as that saying, it's still relevant today. Goodness me, 40 years later almost, 35 years later. If anyone's been affected by this song, please, I don't mean my not singing, please make a call. There's a lot more people around now, agencies and stuff. I don't have a lot of time for agencies and charities, but as I was saying to someone I love very much just a couple of days ago, barbarism thrives in silence. It's the fuel on which it grows. And you diminish its power by speaking and exposing it to the light. At the very least, the light will always make the shade cower away, shrink and cower away. I should also point out that song also applies. It can be regendered as well. Okay, I'll forget that.